Hi, I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl. Thanks for choosing to watch this clip from our Small Town Big Deal YouTube channel.
For full episodes, go to our website, smalltownbigdeal.com.
Now, enjoy the video. Okay, so I know about frying fish, not flying fish. I found one. This one jumped on their boat,
So literally, I could fish these guys because they jump in the boat.
Right, you'll catch a lot of these, Rodney.
So imagine one of those things coming at you in your boat. I mean, they don't really fly, but they can swim 30 miles an hour, and then they just launch themselves into the air.
And they've got these really big pectoral fins that they spread out that helps them glide really long distances.
Interestingly, flying fish were used as possible models for airplanes in the early 1900s. I could just picture Orville and Wilbur studying these winged creatures.
Sure, you can touch them.
They stink.
Ew.
She's right. They are a little ew. You know, I don't know if the Wright brothers ever made a visit here, but lots of people have been coming to the small town of Avalon for years, not only to catch a rare glimpse of these Pacific pilots, but to relax and enjoy the island.
So the first thing that catches our eye is a sand sculpture. Now, not a sand sculpture like I used to make, but meet the artists, Greg and Brandy.
So you guys are sand sculptors?
Yes.
You do this for a living?
We do for 26 years now.
So who knew you could have a career building sandcastles? And people think Rodney and I have a cool job.
They've created some of the most amazing sculptures throughout the years in the shape of animals, famous people, and exotic places like this walk-through castle.
Part of the fun is guessing what Brandy and Greg are going to sculpt.
The centerpiece of this year's sculpture is one of Catalina's famous buffalo. More about why buffalo are on this island a little bit later.
But we're having so much fun here, we gotta hurry up because there is so much to see and do on this island.
And who better to tell us about this island than longtime resident and Chamber of Commerce president, Wayne Griffin.
Not only is it paradise, this is also rural. I mean, you talk about small rural towns, this is as rural as it gets. We used to say 26 miles from Los Angeles and 1,000,000 miles from LA.
Wayne's got that right. The town is only about 1 square mile, and there's not even one traffic light anywhere on the whole island. It's like Mayberry with a beach.
You know, Catalina Island is a lot of fun, and it's a playground for folks of all walks of life, including millionaires and Hollywood stars. Even the Chicago Cubs played ball here for spring training in the 1930s through the 1950s. There is truly an amazing history here.
So the Catalina Island Museum, this should be our next stop?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Ah, the Roaring Twenties, an era of invention, incredible art, and prosperity.
One man who prospered well in that time is William Wrigley Jr. of chewing gum fame.
Wrigley and his wife fell in love with Catalina Island. It was a wild and undeveloped oasis. So, in 1919, Wrigley took money from his nickel chewing gum dynasty and bought the whole island.
It's not about how much each stick of gum costs, it's about how many you sell. And he sold a lot.
And with all that wealth, Wrigley poured money into the island, making Catalina a true destination.
The premier landmark that Wrigley created, a pleasure palace, or what folks back then referred to as a casino. Now, no gambling went on, but you could catch one of those new talkies in the theater, have a great meal, or dance the night away.
This building embodies what Catalina Island is really all about. It's about fun. It's about entertainment. It's not about taking yourself seriously. It's to get into sort of an island lifestyle and an island mindset. And that's what's so special about Catalina Island is that William Wrigley said, this is not going to be a playground for the wealthy. This is going to be for the rank and file, the middle class.
Not only did ordinary folks flock to the island in droves, so did movie stars. Charlie Chaplin, Errol Flynn, Carole Lombard, even John Wayne. They all loved Avalon, and sometimes Hollywood movies were even filmed here.
Without a question, the most famous was the version of the Mutiny on the Bounty with Clark Gable.
Marilyn Monroe lived here with her husband James, a merchant marine during World War II. The island was converted into a training ground for U.S. soldiers during the war. Well, Norma Jean, as she was called back then, didn't go unnoticed on the island well before she became one of film's biggest stars.
And she would turn every head on the beach. They talk even about going to a dance one evening, and almost a frenzy broke out amongst the sailors who wanted to dance with Norma Jean.
Of course, back then, dancing was huge. And did you notice there weren't any poles or pillars that you could slam your partner into?
Well, that's because the walls were designed to hold that floor, and up to 6,000 dancers could dance on it.
Every big band leader of the Magic era used to play here. We're standing on the stage right now that Benny Goodman introduced swing
Right here.
to the West Coast.
And with that in mind, Jan figured we couldn't do much harm if we tried it out ourselves. To truly explore the island, we brought along our guide from the Catalina Island Conservancy. Meet Cesar.
I've been here my whole life. I still have not seen the whole island. So, you know, there's a lot to see out here. There's definitely a lot to see. You get a lot of hiking trails, camping, biking. I mean, so you see a big change in different locations of the island. I mean, you'll be in one section that looks like a complete desert at one point, and then as you hike a little bit further, you'll see a section that looks like almost like a forest. So, I mean, it can change just like that very quickly, so it's really neat.
You know, we've been hearing a lot about the American bison that roam the island's interior.
And of course, that begs the question, how and why were the buffalo brought here?
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that. But they are actually brought here to support a movie, a silent movie actually, in 1924.
It's called The Vanishing American. It's actually a book that was written by Zane Grey. And he was the one that really kind of led the whole thing. He started off by originally getting together with Cecil B. DeMille and bringing 14 bison to Catalina Island.
But when filming was over, the movie makers thought it was too costly to ship them back to the mainland. So they stayed and they multiplied to about 600.
That was a little too much for the island interior to take care of, so they came up with bison birth control.
Now they shoot them with contraceptive darts that keep the population around 150 or so.
And how long do they live?
They live about 30 to about 50 years. They're around for a long time. As they get older, they do kind of get pushed out of the herd, so you'll see them on their own typically as they get older.
Before leaving the interior, we asked Cesar to help us find the buffalo so we could see them in the wild.
When we came upon a dozen or so on the top of the mountain, grazing on this amazing island, it was a sight to see. Jan was all worried about seeing snakes on our island adventure. But to tell you the truth, snakes are the least of Jan's worries right now. She just agreed to do a little ziplining with me, and she has no idea how high these zip lines will take us.
Is the line very frayed today, or did they put new ones in recently?
We've got duct tape covering all the fraying.
It's good to know. Duct tape cures all.
A wise guy, eh? I think that's a throwdown. I'm gonna show them both I'm no scaredy cat.
You're not scared, are you?
This is a little more intimidating.
Come on down.
Come on, Justin, you have to admit it. This is a little more intimidating.
We're not gonna scare you. Go ahead and take a step off.
Big step. Confident step.
A confident step.
Okay.
Wait, not yet!
Oh my gosh! That was awesome!
As the sun sets on the island, our last adventure awaits. We take an evening cruise with Captain Lance. Our mission, to find the flying fish. So, with our flashlights at the ready, it doesn't take us long to spot them.
There's a bunch right out there.
Oh yeah, I
Here they
see
come.
'em.
There's a whole
Oh,
bunch
oh,
of them.
The reason they appear to be flying is to avoid predators, but basically they're just launching themselves out of the water and gliding with their unusually large fins.
Sometimes they'd be flying right at us, and then that way, and then that way. I kind of thought they were gonna all go in the same direction. No,
Yeah,
they're just like,
They're sporadic. They really have no control over their flight at night. Well, I mean, once they're out of the water, they're on their own, kind
Wow.
of wherever the wind takes them. So it's a lot of excitement. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks for watching this clip from Small Town Big Deal. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and be sure to click the bell so you'll be notified when we upload new videos. Also, click the like button. To see full episodes, go to www.smalltownbigdeal.com.